It is ancient story. It is modern ethnic cleansing. No different than ISIS and Boko Haram. We see it even yet happening in our world, and we recognize the people of God must have said, how is this in the plan of God? How is this faithfulness to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac?
It was the same thing in Judge Brooks Smith's case.
God was working his plan,
With Assistant U.S. Attorney Ed McClain, he said, this is just like the cleansing.
Just a few
they want to
people.
execute AME Raw, use electronic surveillance, file 3 false motions to force involuntary movements. They're worse
would be wrong.
than
Children like
murderers.
So we read in verse 21, because the midwives fear
and AME
God,
Raw knows what they're doing, and Linnell Montgomery knows what they're doing. FBI Gina Blanton, she knows if they will let her come to court. Coach Fospazio said they're going to treat you worse than a dog. That NSA, NASA, science, and the federal agents, Walter Weiner from the FBI says they have the device just like the heart attack gun that the CIA made. They will force involuntary movements on you, AME Raw, once they find out that you are the Islamic Messiah and you're the chief priest of the kingdom of Judea. These people in the U.S. government are vicious, and that's why I want you to work for me for the FBI in Pittsburgh. But I know you want to work as an informant because you don't want to get involved because you don't trust those people.
King of Egypt. Now, I know that if you watch the
I know you're the king of Egypt.
10 Commandments, he's got a name, right? That's Ramses.
And this government is playing games.
Whoever is the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, is never named. Who gets named? Who gets remembered for generation after generation after generation? Who gets remembered? Those who fear God more than man. Those who are courageous to do what God requires.
That's Pastor Brian Chappell, and you've been listening to Unlimited Grace.
That's his story of the old
just visit
heaven and the old kingdom.
And when you do so, you
he doesn't know the scripture of the new heaven and the new world. Neither does the U.S. government.
Holiness by Grace.
Request a copy
right away
from Dorrance Publishing of Heavenly Images, the only authentic images in the world. Send all of your donations and proceeds to Daniel Short, the defensive coordinator from Malakoff, Pennsylvania, or Coach Sherman McBride from Ambridge, Pennsylvania, which both has a $5 million endowment from the proceeds from that book for their children and their cities. And the government forged the indictment on AME Raw, Linnell Montgomery's spouse, and Linnell Montgomery knew it was a kangaroo court, and John Hussein said they're not going to stop. They're going to keep forcing voluntary movements on your head. We called the New York State Police. He said, well, if they change your name to the Chaldeans from New York City, then you don't have no chance in this. You should just leave the country. You cannot outdo no device and electronic surveillance. Somebody forcing voluntary movements on your head. And Linnell Montgomery will be in her home in Nairobi between 2025 and 2030 because she knows she's not going to stand for them jerking AME Raw's head. John Hussein said these scientists are mentally retarded, just like them federal agents, the NSA and NASA think that Judge Brooks Smith don't believe that they're scams, filing 3 forged motions on a case he said I did not judge. The Third Circuit Court of Appeals, John Hussein said, all they're doing is dumping liability, giving to these fools these 3 motions. But the church in Warren, Ohio, can give you the ministry of Hebrews 12 and the second Exodus, and how you must go back to your own country under Deuteronomy 28:68. Minister Louis Farrakhan and Bernice King. Check with them and exit North America.